Hello everybody, and welcome back to the 2018 Granny Square Crochet Along. This is Jeanette, and today we are going to be working on square number 185, Stars and the Stripes. This is our 4th of July square. I hope you guys enjoy making it, and let's go ahead and get our yarn and our hooks, and let's get started. Alright, we start this square with a chain of 25, and in the second chain from the hook we are going to make an extended single crochet, and it is very similar to a regular single crochet where you go into the stitch, you pull up a loop, you have 2 on the hook, you yarn over, but you only pull through 1 loop, yarn over again, and pull through both. That is an extended single crochet. So we are going to make 1 extended single crochet in each chain across for a total of 24 stitches, and I will meet you back at the end when we have that done. Okay, I'm down to the last stitch, and we'll just do the last one together. So pull through 1 loop and then pull through 2, and that's the last extended single crochet, and you should have 24 stitches across. That chain 1 at the beginning right here, that doesn't count as a stitch, just so you know. So we have 24 stitches. All of them are extended single crochets. So now we are going to do row 2, we chain 1, which is not counted as a stitch in this pattern, turn our work, and into that first stitch we are going to put an extended single crochet, just like that. And we are going to do this in all 24 stitches all the way across to the end of the row, and I'll see you back when we're at the last stitch. Okay, so I'm down to the last few stitches, actually down to the last stitch. We are going to go into the last single crochet from the row below, not the chain 1, but the last extended single crochet, and we're going to put our last stitch into the top of that. I'm going to yarn over and pull through 1 loop, and then in order to change colors I'm going to pull the white for the next row through the last 2 loops, just so the color change is a little bit neater. If there's a way that you prefer doing it, feel free. This is the way that I do it. I'm just going to bring those yarn tails over, and we chain 1, and we go back into that first stitch and make our extended single crochet. Now if you want to carry the yarn up the side, that's completely up to you. There's nothing wrong with that. The only thing is you will need to put a border all the way around your square in order to hide the yarns being carried up the side. And since I measured mine and it's already 6 inches across, I'm not going to put a border all the way around. So I'm going to cut and weave in my ends every 2 rows. It's just going to be a lot neater. So we're going to go ahead and put single crochets into each stitch down the row. At the end of this row you chain 1, turn your work, and do the same thing going back across, and I'll meet you at the end of row 4, the second row of our white. Okay, we are at the end of the 4th row, and I just have 2 stitches left, and I'm going to show you how I change colors, at least. Going into the last stitch, pull through 1 loop, and then I attach my red by pulling through the last 2 loops on the white, the last stitch, or yeah, the last 2 loops on that stitch, and then I chain 1, I turn, I try to go over my tails at least for a little bit. And then we're going back into this first stitch where we chained 1 to do our first extended single crochet. And now we are going to do 2 rows in red, followed by 2 rows in white, okay, so we have 4 rows done. Rows 5 and 6 are going to be in red, rows 7 and 8 are going to be in white, and rows 9 and 10 are going to be in red. We're going to keep changing colors the way that we've been changing, so however you've been doing it, that's how you're going to keep doing it. If you're carrying them up along the side and you're going to do a border later, keep doing it that way. We're going to go ahead and finish the next 6 rows. I'm going to meet you back at the end of row 10 and show you how we are going to add in the blue corner where our stars are going to go. Okay, here we are at the end of row 10, and I am going to do the last extended single crochet, and we will change color. So I only go through once, and then grab my white and pull it through the last 2 loops on that stitch. And this row we are going to do together because we need to change colors in the middle. So we go into the first stitch and put our first extended single crochet, and we are going to do that 11 more times for a total of 12 stitches in white. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, this is number 12. And we're going to do this one the same way we've been doing them at the end of the rows to change colors. So I'm only going to pull through the loop once. I'm going to get my blue. And now we're going to start the section where the stars will go. So we pull through the 2 loops. Tighten up, where's the white? Tighten up the white a little bit. And oh, we keep going. Now I'm going to go over my ends a little bit like I've been doing. I just feel it makes it a little bit more secure until I get to weaving them in. I always do mine at the end, so 2 or 3 stitches is fine. So we should have 12 stitches in blue, and this blue, whoops, is going to continue all the way to the top of the square. So from here on out, all of these, this half of the rows are going to be blue, and we're only going to be changing red and white on this side. So we're not going to be cutting the blue. We're just going to go back and forth on this side with the same color. All right, so this is what it should look like at the end of row 11. And there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There should be 12 of each color. So we are going to go ahead, chain 1, turn, and I'm going to carry you over till we have to switch colors, and then I'm going to let you finish, and we'll meet back at the end of that row. So 12 blue stitches, and then I'm going to show you how to pick up the white. Basically the same way we've been doing it, where we're pulling it through the last 2 stitches of our extended single crochet. And we are almost there. This is 10. Oh, 11. And 12, and we're only going to pull through 1. And this is the back side, so I'm not dropping the blue to the side that's away from me. I'm keeping everything on the back side, so it's staying here on the side facing me. I'm going to pick up the white and pull it right through. Tighten everything up a little bit, and that should be fine. We're going to pick this up when we come back on row 13 with the red. We're going to just pick up the blue and continue with that. So now we're going to make 12 white extended single crochets. And I'm going to show you color change one last time at the end of the row, and then I'm going to leave you all to it. We are supposed to end up with, let me see here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 rows. So we're about to finish the 2 rows in white that are next to the blue. We have 2 more rows in red, 2 more rows in white, and the last 2 rows are in red. The blue stays continuous all the way through to the 18th row. I'm just going to show you, like I said, the color change one more time at the end of this row. And you saw how we will pick up the blue and drop our other color. Make sure you always drop your color to the side that is your wrong side, whether it's facing you or not. And your front should end up looking nice and neat. There should be no color changes showing on the front side of your work. Okay, so on the last stitch, I pull through once, and let me get my red. you pull through the last 2 loops of your stitch with your new color, chain 1, turn your work, and I like to go over the tails as I'm doing this. Go into the first stitch and make your first extended single crochet. Go over your tails as long as you're comfortable with. Like I said, I only do 2 or 3 stitches just to keep them in place so that nothing comes undone while I'm making my square, and then I'll weave in the rest of it later. Okay, but that's how it should look on the front, nice and neat. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and finish up to row 18. So you have 2 more rows in red, 2 more rows in white, 2 more rows in red. Blue is continuous till the end, and I'll see you back when we have that all done, and I will show you how to make and attach your stars. Alright, I'm just going to show you real quick once more, just to make sure everybody has it. I'm at the last stitch of the red. I still have the last 2 loops on my hook. All you do is grab your blue, it should be on the back side, pull it up, and pull it through the 2 stitches. Tighten your red. Your red should also be on the back side waiting for when you come back across on the next row. And we just go in and continue making our extended single crochets. So just in case there was any questions, that's how that color change is done. So we'll just continue on like this, and I'll see you at the end of the square. Okay, we are back, and your square should look like this. This is all 18 rows done. This is the front side. All of your tails and the color changes for this section should be on the back side. And now we are going to make these little stars to sew into our blue area. You're going to need a needle of some type, and I've already made one, and I'm just going to walk you through the other 2. It's very easy, quick. You're going to start with a magic circle, and that's just to lock it in place. So then I chain 2 and single crochet into the second chain from the hook. Single crochet, and then we slip stitch into the ring, and we do this 5 times to make 5 points. Chain 2, single crochet into the second chain from the hook, and slip stitch into the ring. Chain 2, single crochet into the second chain, slip stitch, chain 2, single crochet into the second chain from the hook, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 1 more, slip stitch into the ring, chain 2, single crochet into the second chain, and slip stitch into the ring. So you pull your center tight, very tight, and I pull through one more time to get a nice knot. Cut yourself a relatively long tail. We're going to use the tails to attach our stars. Pull it nice and tight. You might have to adjust your points a little bit, just to get them to stick out. Okay, so that's 2, and we'll go ahead and do that one more time. Make sure that both of your ends, the one when you're making the magic circle and the one at the end when you're cutting it, that both of your tails are long enough, because we will need both of them to attach the stars to the blue. So you start with the magic ring, chain 2, second chain from the hook, we put our single crochet, slip stitch into the ring, and we just repeat it 4 more times. Chain 2, single crochet into the second chain, slip stitch into the circle, chain 2, single crochet into the second chain, slip stitch into the circle. Chain 2, single crochet into the second chain, slip stitch into the circle, and one more, chain 2, single crochet into the second chain, and slip stitch into the circle. Pull your beginning tail nice and tight. And then I'm going to lock my stitch in by pulling through once more, cutting a long tail, and now I'll show you how to attach them. Okay, so obviously you can put your stars wherever you like, however you want to place them. Completely up to you. Sometimes the yarn cooperates and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so go ahead and thread one tail through. Figure out where you want to place your star, and it doesn't matter if you get it right through a stitch or not, since we are sewing these on. I'm going to let that one go because I want to get both of my tails through first to secure my star, and then I am going to show you how I attach mine. You don't have to do it this way. If you don't want to, obviously do however you like, but I want to tack down my points so that they stay in place through washings and the blanket being used and whatnot. So first I want to attach the star, and I want it to be secure. So I make a knot. I put my yarn through twice because that's a nice firm knot. It stays better than others. So just do it like this. Pull nice and tight. Your star is secure. Then I'm going to take my longer end and thread my yarn through and get my points where I want them, and just come up through the back just at the top. Don't need to grab much, since this is just to keep them in place, and go right back down again. I also don't pull too tight because I don't want it to be obvious that there are stitches holding them down. I want them to just look like they're floating. And obviously these stitches are going to be seen on the back side, so if you're not a fan of that, you don't have to do this part. It doesn't really matter to me, so I just want the front to be pretty. And then once we do the last one, I'm going to tie my two ends together. And you just want to make sure when you're going in and out, if you are going to tack down your stars, that you go in and out, don't go through the same space. It's a lot more secure. They stay a lot better if you move your needle over slightly and just go down next to where you came up. And that is how your star will look if you do choose to tack them down. Otherwise, the points will stick up, and if you like the 3D effect, then just tie them the way we did at first in the beginning when we attached the stars, and cut off your tails and you're done. So I am going to tie another knot with my two ends and attach the rest of my stars, and I'll show you what that looks like at the end. Okay, so this is what it should look like when you're all done. You have to weave your ends in. I started with these two. You can actually go back and forth through the blue stitches so long as you stay behind the white flower. I'm sorry, the white star. It shouldn't be seen. And I've started weaving in some of the ends here, so you know, back and forth and back and forth. I hope you enjoy making this one. It's a nice little patriotic square for 4th of July. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you all again next time. Bye.